We do this meeting every Tuesday night starting at 6:30, ends at 8. If you're unable to make it, you can always go on our website and see the live streaming, or if we're not live streaming for some reason like tonight for our main speaker, you can log in and see our library of speakers so you won't miss a meeting. But welcome to the Tuesday night alumni speaker meeting. Who is it their first time here at our meeting? Welcome. You guys are the most important people in the room, not Joe in the back, just FYI. But like I said, we do it here every Tuesday night. Let's introduce ourselves, starting on my right.
My name is Nancy, and I'm an addict.
Nancy.
Amanda, I'm an addict.
Amanda.
Esther, addict.
Esther.
Randy, addict.
Randy.
Dalton, addict.
Dalton.
Andrew, I'm an addict.
Andrew.
Hamid, addict.
Hamid.
Grant, addict.
Grant.
Glenn, addict.
Glenn.
Benjamin. Oh, hi, family, I'm an addict. My name's Ben.
Ben.
Scott, addict.
John. Scott? Was it Scott?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Billy, addict.
Billy.
Sam, addict.
Sam.
William, alcoholic.
William.
Lester, alcoholic.
Lester.
Eddie, addict.
Eddie.
Albert, alcoholic.
Albert.
Anthony, alcoholic.
Anthony.
Edward, addict.
Eric.
Rick, addict.
Rick. Harry.
Harry. Jeremy, alcoholic.
Jeremy. Chris. Chris.
Frank, addict.
Frank. Maria.
Joe, alcoholic.
Joe.
Chris, addict.
Chris. Zach.
Shantae, addict.
John Tay.
Susan, I'm an addict.
Jesus.
Joshua, addict.
Joshua.
Kenny, addict.
Kenny.
George, alcoholic.
George.
Enrique, addict.
Enrique.
Joe, addict.
Joe.
Gino, addict.
Gino.
Will, addict.
Will.
Nathaniel, alcoholic.
Nathaniel.
Robert, addict.
Robert.
Mike, addict.
Mike.
Rudy, addict.
Rudy.
Luis, addict.
Luis.
Brandon, recovering alcoholic addict.
Brandon.
Jamal, I'm an addict.
Jamal. And I'm Liz. I'm still an alcoholic. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. All right. So we kindly ask for your cooperation in making this a good experience for all who wish to hear the message. Please respect the speakers and the readers by not making a bunch of noise in your seats or wandering around when the meeting's in progress. During the break, feel free to help yourself to coffee and snacks. I've asked Jamal to come on up and read what is the NA program.
Hi, I'm Jamal and I'm an addict. What is the Narcotics Anonymous program? NA is a nonprofit fellowship or society of men and women for whom drugs has become a major problem. We are recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. This is a program of complete abstinence from all drugs. There is only one requirement for membership, the desire to stop using. We suggest that you keep an open mind and give yourself a break. Our program is a set of principles written so simply that we can follow them in our daily lives. The most important thing about them is that they work. There are no strings attached to NA. We are not affiliated with any other organizations. We have no initiation fees or dues, no pledges to sign, no promises to make to anyone. We are not connected with any political, religious, or law enforcement groups and are under no surveillance at any time. Anyone may join us regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. We are not interested in what or how much you use or who your connections were, what you have done in the past, how much or how little you have, but only in what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. The newcomer is the most important person at any meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. We have learned from our group experience that those who keep coming to our meetings regularly stay clean. Thank you.
All right, and we've asked Hamid to come on up and read why we're here.
Hamid addict. Why are we here? Why? Before coming to the fellowship of NA, we could not manage our own lives. We could not live and enjoy life as other people do. We had to have something different, and we thought we had found it in drugs. We placed their use ahead of the welfare of our families, our wives, husbands, and our children. We had to have drugs at all costs. We did many people great harm, but most of all, we harmed ourselves. Through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. We seemed to be incapable of facing life on life's own terms. Most of us realized that in our addiction, we were slowly committing suicide. But addiction is such a cunning enemy of life that we had lost the power to do anything about it. Many of us ended up in jail or sought help through medicine, religion, and psychiatry. None of these methods was sufficient for us. Our disease always resurfaced or continued to progress until in desperation we sought help from each other in Narcotics Anonymous. After coming to NA, we realized we were sick people. Sick. Super sick. We suffered from a disease from which there is no known cure. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible.
Thanks, Hamid. All right, and Jante, come on up and read how it works.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Tate, addict. How it works. If you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the effort to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. These are the principles that made our recovery possible. First, we admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to other human beings the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we are entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, we humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, we made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, we continued to take a personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. This sounds like a big order, and we can do it all at once. We didn't become addicted in one day, so remember, easy does it. There's one thing more than anything else that will defeat us in our recovery. This is an attitude of indifference or intolerance towards spiritual principles. 3 of these that are indispensable are honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. With these, we are all well on our way. We feel that our approach to the disease of addiction is completely realistic, for the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. We feel that our way is practical, for one addict can be understood and help another addict. We believe that the sooner we face our problems within our society and everyday living, just that much faster do we become acceptable, responsible, and productive members of that society. The only way to keep from returning to active addiction is not to take that first drug. If you are like us, you know that 1 is too many and 1,000 never enough. We put great emphasis on this, for we know that when we use drugs in any form or substitute one for another, we release our addiction all over again. Thinking of alcohol as different from other drugs has caused a great many addicts to relapse. Before we came to NA, many of us viewed alcohol separately, but we cannot afford to be confused about this. Alcohol is a drug. We are people with the disease of addiction who must abstain from all drugs in order to recover.
Thanks, Jante. And while we observe the seventh tradition, Brandon's going to come on up and read the 12 traditions of NA. And just as a friendly reminder, this is our last collection before the pizza party. So it's up to you if you guys, if we have enough money for pizza. So just throwing it out there. And then come on up and read the 12 traditions.
My name. Okay, now my name's Brandon. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. The 12 traditions of NA. 1. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on NA unity. 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as He may express Himself in our group consciousness. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. 3. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. 4. Each group should be anonymous except in matters affecting other groups or NA as a whole. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose, to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. 6. An NA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the NA name to any related facility or outside enterprise lest problems of money, property, or prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every NA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Narcotics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9. NA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10. Narcotics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issue, hence the NA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relation policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Thank you.
All right, so our format for this meeting is we're going to have our 10-minute speaker, then we'll take a 10-minute break. Then we'll have our main speaker followed by milestones, and then if we have time for sharing, we will. And just FYI, Ben, where'd you go? Right here. Oh, I'm like, Ben is our timer. He'll give you guys a 2-minute warning for our speakers. So it's my pleasure to introduce Andrew. Come on up.
Hello, my name's Andrew. I'm an addict. Andrew. First, I want to say I'm thankful, very thankful for God for bringing me here and making me alive today, as well as the Narcotics Anonymous program and Fred Brown Recovery Services. My story starts in 1988 in Long Beach. I was born to my mom, a brother, and that was it at the time. My dad abandoned me at a very young age, about the age of 1. He was from a prominent family, and my mom ended up remarrying and had my sister when I was around 3 years old. And we grew up in a pretty nice middle-class neighborhood in Long Beach. My first love was playing sports. I played football, baseball, soccer, and wrestling from a very young age. I had a very diverse group of friends growing up in Long Beach, playing sports. Also, they bused the kids into the neighborhood to school. My aunt married into a Hispanic family from Artesia, so I have primos and cousins that are Hispanic, and grandmas and other parts of my family that are Hispanic. But I remember even in like starting in elementary school and middle school, like you could tell like when people are growing up, they're like the division along racial lines, like how like on the soccer field the Mexicans would be there, or the Hispanics would be there, then the brothers would be on the basketball courts, that type of thing. So in California, there was already a economic and racial divide. Yeah. Growing up, when I was young, I had a pretty good childhood. Everything was nice until like probably around the age of 7. My stepdad, so my sister's dad, like had some like anger problems, so he started like taking them out on my mom and my brother for different reasons. So it started off with like verbal abuse. There's all types of abuse, physical, sexual, from like the step family, all that type of stuff. So he started like hitting my mom and my stepdad. So it was really, or my stepdad started hitting my mom, my brother, and myself. So it was really confusing. I mean, going to church. They had us go to church when I was young. It wasn't like we just go on Sundays, but it wasn't super religious or nothing. So yeah. So like once I was old enough to like fight back, that's when their marriage sort of dissolved and stuff. So they broke up when I was around the age of 11. And I grew up skateboarding too, so I was out in it was around the time where we'd come back when the street lights came on, or like, I mean, we can, like, just as long as we let our parents know where we were at, like, we were good to do whatever we wanted. And so I was always around people who were smoking weed and drinking, older kids, but because of my, like, future in sports, I tended to stay away from it. So I remember one time when I was in Little League, like I hit my first couple home runs at practice, and since my mom was a single mother at the time and working and going back to school, my coaches would bring me to and from practice. And I hit like 3 home runs in practice for the first time. So I remember when I came running home to go tell my mom, I ran to her bedroom and I ended up finding her dead on the floor because she tried to commit suicide because there's a lot of generational trauma. You know, I mean, she had abuse in her family. So from that point, that's what sort of like since my dad abandoned me, then now that my mom tried to too, like it sort of set me on a spiral. Like now that the things that kept me away from the drugs, like then it applied to me. And like the insanity of addiction, like the bitter ends, they say, jails, institutions, and death, like that came very quick for me. I was very violent. So I started going to like youth homes and camps and juvenile hall, like from the age of 12 on, like really quick. Fast forward a bunch, it's just a bunch of insanity. In high school, I started using harder drugs, methamphetamines. Once I ran into heroin when I was 15, that's when I like sort of found like the drug that I prefer. You know, I mean, I use whatever drug there is. And kept on leading me to get, like I was talking about, that institutionalization along racial lines. Once I started going to the county and prison, I started to learn that a little bit more. After my first term, I seen what it was sort of about, and I sort of bought into it. And when I was my early 20s, to be initiated into a gang, I tried to kill somebody. So I tried to kill the child molester for the benefit of a certain organization, and it landed me facing a lot of time, but luckily the guy didn't die, so I ended up getting my attempted murder dropped to assault with a deadly weapon, and ended up doing 7 years. But at the around the age of 25, because I was a violent offender and I was gang related and I'm documented and stuff, I went to Pelican Bay on the 4-yard on the yard because my points were up, because I was acting a fool, because my whole, like, almost a decade ahead of me is going to be prison. So, you know, I was in like 2015, 16, and that's when I would be introduced to more high-level players in that type of lifestyle, and be celled up with them, be associated with them on paper. So I did those 7 years, and just because I was in that drug life, you know what I mean, I wanted to, in that gang life, I wanted it to support my life. So when I got out, I don't feel comfortable saying these organizations' names on camera, nor do I want to give power to them either. But I just started hustling drugs for them and sending money to prisons and doing all that type of stuff. I mean, and like going through the steps and doing my work at Fred Brown, like I know it was very misguided, and I don't want to put too much power to that and like all that lifestyle entails. But I mean, I do want to say at some point I was doing really well, and I ended up crashing my truck when I was coming back from moving drugs across county lines to Orange County, and I looked down to grab a cigarette, and I looked up, it was a yellow light, and I had nowhere to go, so I crashed into like 3 cars, and I broke all my ribs, and the cops knew who I was, and I had like a high-powered rifles, drugs, guns, all that type of shit, so I ended up breaking my ribs, and they didn't have no sympathy for me, so they threw me in my cell in 1750 that has my name always on it. And pretty much I was begging for medical, screaming, and they're like, man, you're screaming, you can breathe fine, but there's a rib in my lung, and I ended up dying on that floor, slowly dying. I had a pulmonary embolism, my heart was fucked off for like a year. But I don't say that for sympathy. It's because I say it when I finally was dying. I had an experience where the God of my understanding pretty much told me I didn't live out my purpose yet. And I say that because everyone in this room, like, earned whatever you did in your life, you earned your seat here. And they have a purpose for you too. But I wish that to say, I mean, addiction is cunning, baffling, and powerful. I wish I could say that was the thing that got me clean. It wasn't. I had to go to prison a couple more times. I did a little bit, I did probably 12, 13 years altogether. But everything was a downhill spiral. You know what I mean? Everything, no matter how high the highs are, the lows, it just keeps on getting worse. So, you know what I mean? I was tired of that life and tired of working for those people that didn't care for me or my family. You know what I mean? I ended up losing everything, my family, my house, my cars, my wife, my dog, all that stuff. And I came here on my own. I'm an outpatient right now. I graduated. But basically, and it was on December 31st. I mean, on New Year's Eve, I chose to come here because it was a new year. Then I had a chance at a new life. So I took it. And if it wasn't for all you guys, all my peers, Fred Brown, I don't differentiate between the streets or nothing like that. Outpatient, inpatient, we're all here to change our lives. So I want to say thank you to all my peers first. Thank you to Nancy for always having toilet paper when we need it. all the staff helped me out. You know what I mean? Thank you to Roxy for keeping this place open. I had no idea that this was an option for me. I thought the only way to get clean was like a methadone clinic or white nut clinic, so to speak. But through Narcotics Anonymous and this program, it's really helped me to work through my steps and work through step 5, you know how we do in residential, and really put in all that work and get ready to remove those character defects. And I'm excelling. I'm just taking it day by day. I mean, a day at a time. And I'm just living in the present moment so I can change my life and use my story to help people. Because no matter what race you are, you guys are all my brothers, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm tired of living that life. The insanity can't be refunded, you know what I mean? Like, if you want that violent stuff or that crazy shit, you know, the jail is waiting for you. You know, just go back. If you want to change your life, stay here. My name's Andrew.
Let's give Andrew another round of applause. I think for those of you that haven't had a chance to get to know Andrew, take the time to get to know him while he's here. He's really special, and you can tell, I appreciate you sharing your experience with us, and you can tell it was heart-filled, and you can see by the applause and people's faces in the rooms that it really affected a lot. So thank you for sharing. That's what the fellowship is all about, so I appreciate that. All right, let's take a 10-minute break, guys.
Break. It is now 6:53.
You're welcome.
Because I used to kill chickens in St. Arkansas, and like they humans get that too. And then if that shit gets started cooking again, or you don't shoot it right, then that shit will keep chopping down. So I put that shit chocolate plate right here, so now that chocolate plate. Because I feel like what's going on. What is he doing?
This is how Lil Wayne and how Jay-Z. I don't know. I know Lil Wayne probably. Already been rapping so long, he probably got a lot of rap.
Already.
So I can, you know, he's going to move. I can use
Brandon? I try to like associate names with something that I know, or else I forget. Ali is your middle name? Ali. I mean, I don't know if that was an option, but I don't know. But live, is it like a live? There's live. But I mean, like this is a banana. Yeah, so that's part of your job.
That way, man.
Are you right now? The live? Yeah, and they go from Facebook, right? Okay, yeah. Not ready for it yet. It's all right. One day.
Liz, where's my hug? You're not giving me a hug.
Very good.
Yeah?
All right, let's start the second half of the meeting with the Serenity.